Welcome to the Silver Spleen's Memories of Making Movies from Vegas to Macau 2. Last summer I got asked to audition for a movie, and I didn't know what movie it was, but the scene that I was auditioning for involved playing poker. About halfway through the audition, the assistant director said to me, "I think you'd be really good for this part because you're older." And I thought, gee, that's nice. But then he said, "Because you'll be playing against Chow Yun-fat, and we need someone who's close to his own age so that you look experienced." And for the first time in my life, I was actually happy to be middle-aged. Well, as it turns out, the script got changed and that part got written out, so I didn't get to do it. However, in early September, my phone rang and they asked me if I wanted to shoot a scene for the same movie the next day. Then they asked me if I could bring any other Western friends. So I called up my friend Jordy, who actually appeared in Passion Island. The shoot was in Yuen Long. Now what's funny is that the scene in the movie takes place in Thailand. But it was an interior shoot, so there was no need to go all the way there. The first thing we had to do was get our outfits. Unlike Sifu vs. Vampire, I didn't have to bring my own clothes, just my own boots, because it turned out I was playing a soldier. The pants had to be altered quite a bit in order to be big enough to fit me. Soon enough, we had enough clothes that would fit me, and I started to look like everybody else. Well, I mean, except for the fact that I wasn't Chinese and 5'6", but that's not my point. This time I had to go to makeup. But it wasn't really makeup, it was just the traditional soldier face paint, like this. They put an awful lot of care and attention to it, and also tried to make my face look dirty and my hands. Then we played the classic movie game of hurry up and wait. So I spent a lot of my day waiting around, carrying my fake M4 because I was afraid to leave it anywhere. That may have been one of the reasons that nobody seemed to want to talk to me. I tried to stay out of the way, but then again, this scene also involved Chung Ka-fai, Sean Yu-Man-lok, Kenny Wong, and Derek Tung, and it would have been nice to at least say hello to them. But every time I tried, they just seemed to stare at me and move away. I guess I can't really blame them. Eventually, they called us in for rehearsal to the hallway that they'd built where the shot was going to take place. They gave us an idea of where they wanted us to go and how they wanted us to behave. The M4s had laser sights on them and they wanted us to move them around quite a lot because it would look better on camera. So they backed us all out, got the lights ready, filled the whole thing up with smoke, and called action. As I made my way down the hallway, I stepped on something with my left foot. I didn't know what it was, but then it went, "Ugh!" And I realized I'd stepped on someone. As soon as they called cut, I ran back. There was a guy laying on the floor, because in the scene, there are people who've been shot previously. They weren't laying on the floor during rehearsal. They just put them in there at some point around when they filled the whole hallway up with smoke so you couldn't see the floor. I felt really bad and apologized to the guy, but then I noticed my boot print on his ass and his lower back, and it seemed to look about this big, and I wish I'd taken a picture of it, but I didn't. One nice thing was the attention to continuity. In the story, the soldiers come up out of a river, so right before the cameras would roll, an assistant would come over and spritz us until we were running with water. Therefore, it would look more realistic. I also had the chance to do a GoPro shot that was essentially a close-up of my face. They attached the GoPro to the foregrip on the M4 looking directly back at me, and I was directed to move the thing around while, of course, maintaining a very soldierly glare. I don't think any of it ended up in the finished film, but at least I got to do it. For that matter, I think the amount of time I'm in the actual film is the same amount of time that I'm in the trailer. I think maybe in the Mandarin trailer it's slightly more. But you know what? I don't care. I got to be in a Chinese New Year movie. I even got to be in the trailer. I got to be in a movie that Chow Yun-fat is in, and I got to meet Connie Man, which, like I said, is kind of strange considering that all the guys were afraid to talk to me, but Connie wasn't. She introduced herself and asked me about myself, and I kept thinking, why would a woman who appears to be, fairly intelligent talk to someone who looks like this? That's how I ended up going to the premiere of Flirting in the Air, and it's also how I managed to go to the premiere of From Vegas to Macau 2, because Connie was nice enough to give me a ticket. I am very grateful for that, like I said, especially because I frightened the others. I really enjoyed the experience of making a movie, and I want to thank everybody involved, even if they never watch this. I do appreciate it, it was a lot of fun, and I hope I get a chance to do it again. Thank you for watching.